Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Thriving Talks with Anthony. Black History Month, Black Inspirational Special. Flex on them.
Young Hefe, Holmes. Oh.
Special man, special quote. I am America. I'm the part you won't recognize, but get used to me. Black, confident, cocky. My name, not yours. My religion, not yours. My goals, my own. Get used to me. Muhammad Ali. Happy Black History Month to all. Welcome to Thriving Talks with Anthony, and today I'll be introducing to you guys somebody special. Her name is Ida B. Wells. Most of you guys may be familiar with her. Most of you guys may not. However, stay tuned. With it being Black History Month in particular, I believe it's only right to acknowledge, somebody other than, the people that you may be familiar with. Most of you guys may be familiar with Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass. I'm not saying those people are not influential. They're not important. I'm not saying that. They are. Look into them. Get to know them. However, I want you guys to know someone other than the typical, the normalized, influential people that they have in the school systems and within society. So just tune in. Ida B. Wells.
1865. The Civil War was over. 4 million former slaves gained the most basic rights of citizenship: the right to marry, raise children, own property, to be protected by law. Within 2 years, black men would have the right to vote. It was a time of great optimism. A whole generation infected with the possibilities of freedom and justice. Among them, Ida B. Wells. But by the time she was 21, this child of slavery would find that promises made were not to be kept. Wells would launch a campaign against oppression that reverberates throughout America to this day.
So Ida B. Wells herself was born in July 16th, 1862 in Holy Springs, Mississippi. She died March 25th, 1931 at the age of 68 in Chicago, Illinois. Off the rip, influential words that were important that came off the mouth, the lips of Ida B. Wells herself were, I came home every Friday afternoon, riding the 6 miles on the back of a big mule. I spent Saturday and Sunday washing and ironing and cooking for the children and went back to my country school on Sunday afternoon. So immediately reading that, it hit me in particular because I just kind of reflected based on society. Most people, ask yourself, would you want to go to school on a Sunday morning, afternoon? I don't think so. So I mean, just looking at that, hearing that, and just kind of just seeing the mind of a slave and not really having nothing. You know what I mean? Just kind of showing the push. It was just kind of inspirational. It was crazy to me because most people have their own views on education or this or that, but just seeing someone that had literally nothing at all is really pushing to go to school on a Sunday is just really mind blowing to me. So let's get back into it.
8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40.
For nearly a century, it was against the law to teach enslaved African people to read or write. At the end of the war, 90% were illiterate. Free now and hungering for an education, young and old attended thousands of newly opened public schools throughout the South.
Our job was to go to school and learn all we could. My father was one of the trustees, and my mother went along to school with us until she learned to read the Bible.
She left school, made herself look older to get a teaching job.
Two years later, the veteran school teacher, Ida Bell Wells, moved to Memphis, 40 miles away on the Mississippi River. Wells, part of the migration of black people to the big cities of the South, found a better paying job in the Memphis school system. Wells was now in exile. It would be 30 years before she would return to the South. Immediately, Wells was hired by the leading black newspaper, the New York Age, published and edited by T. Thomas Fortune, the dean of black journalists. By now, she was one of the most widely published writers in the black newspaper world.
So, education and labor. Education allows possibilities for individuals, and without education, it makes things very difficult. Whether you believe it or not, it is what it is. Wells herself demonstrates that the drive for change and hard work and education are two components of that are essential. So, hardworking and education, put them together, you're destined for something great, something good. So, like I said, regardless if you disagree, um, it is what it is. And just kind of seeing a slave, like I said, someone that had literally nothing, um, is disadvantaged, push for education, is a reason why she did what she did. Do you believe without education and working hard, such as labor, do you think someone such as Ida B. Wells herself would be influential? Just think about that. Pause this and just think about that, please. Like, I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Without education and labor, do you think someone such as a slave, such as Ida B. Wells, would be influential? So that's basically what I have for you guys today. As you guys can see, I have my sources. The link below will be here for you guys to watch the full documentary on this influential person, Ida B. Wells. But we're gonna get into some dope discussion. I'm gonna talk to some people. I'm gonna ask them what their thoughts about education is, and if education ain't for them, then what do you think is for them? You know what I mean? But we're gonna get into some good discussion, and we'll tie it back. Welcome to the Thriving Talks with myself, Anthony. First and foremost, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Siobhan McFarland. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. 22-year-old shy motivational speaking man, and I'm glad to be here on your platform, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I want to ask you a question. Do you think education is important?
Yes, I do, 100%.
Can you explain why? Why do you think it's important?
I think education is important because we need to know, how to operate in this world. We need to know the world around us. Education is important because it not only helps ourselves, but it can help influence others. You know what I'm saying? Education is essential for society, for a functioning society. You know what I'm saying? We gotta know, like the ins and outs of our world. How we can make a world a better place. You know what I'm saying? And what we can do for humanity, what we can do for society as well. So education plays a really huge role in human development. You know what I'm saying? And also just kind of like the progression of our world.
So what's your insight on people that don't think education is important? Do you have intake on that, or?
Yeah. People, from my observation, people think education is not important for a variety of reasons. Most reasons that I've commonly heard is because they feel like it's not essential for them. In whatever cases that it may be, like I would understand. But I think education is important because, like, let's say school education may not be your thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that education isn't important at all. Like, we have Google, you feel me? Like, it's good to be hip. It's good to, like I said before, like, know the world around you. Like, be educated in a particular subject that you're striving towards. Let's say, like, I want to be educated in mathematics, right? Or I want to be educated in history. I will do my research. I would attend seminars, I would attend classes that would give out that information to help me become more educated in that field that I desire to thrive in. You feel me? So I feel that education is important regardless of whether you want to do it through school or not, because without education, you can't get far in this world at all.
Okay. Well, I did some research and I found some factors that explain or kind of break down why education is important. I'm not going to read everything because I don't want you to be here for too long, but I want to kind of discuss a few things with you based on what I have found. So I had basically seen that education creates more employment opportunities. Do you believe that?
I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that education does, open up more opportunities for us. You know what I'm saying? I believe that without education, that we can't do a lot of things, because it all goes back to what we were discussing earlier on why it's important. You feel me? Because if we need construction workers, we need the knowledge and the information to do construction. You feel me? So I feel like if you don't know what you're doing in regard towards what you want to do, then it all went back to what we said before. You just can't get far in this world. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe education is super important when it comes to employment. You know what I'm saying? And like finding opportunities and so on and so forth.
All right. So we know that it creates more employment opportunities. However, do you believe that there's equal opportunities? It creates equal opportunities with education.
No, I don't. And that's why I feel like the kind of biasism in our society comes from, because you can have the knowledge, but just because you don't have the degree, you know, they might not hire you. Or you can have the degree, and just because you have the degree, 50 million other people may have that degree too. But there's someone that knows somebody, or, you know, has their hand in the ranks that can get that position above you, and you put in that work, and you have the resume to, you know, show that you put in that work. And someone snubs you because they know somebody, or they kind of have that opportunity, that advantage in the ranks that you didn't have, but you put in that work. So I do feel like there is, you know, a little bit of biasism in the education system. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It's funny, Trey, because, you know, as I did some research, I looked at this site. Everything was good, but I don't know who made this. I don't know who, you know, said it was creating equal opportunities. You know, it's not equal. You know what I mean? There's a disadvantage with, you know, African Americans such as myself. It's very difficult for, you know, us to prosper just based on the racial bias stuff and, you know, stuff like that. But however, I do believe that education is important, and most of these factors, or all of these factors, are on the ball. But just the equal opportunities, I don't know about that. But let's just get into one more. Do you believe that it provides a prosperous and a happy life, like with education? You know, because you have people out here that say, they may say like the money thing, because education has value, and some people may say like, oh, like it just doesn't buy happiness, or they just have their own ways of just kind of running away from the books or stuff like that. So, do you believe that education gives you a better life, or not? You don't need to kind of have it.
I feel like, and that's a really good question. I feel like education definitely gives you a prosperous life, whether you make $50 million or not. I want to be educated on how to take care of my body. I want to be educated on how I can help my family, my friends. I want to be educated on how I can help my community. I don't have to make, you know, a bunch of bands to feel happy, because that's when, you know, when we base our happy, prosperous life on the tangible results of education, then that's where I feel like we could go off, because those things are not really sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Like, education is sustainable because no one can take away knowledge from you. You feel me? So that's why I feel like education can give you a prosperous life, regardless of how much money you're making, regardless of your circumstances. You know, if you know and you're well informed on how to move on within yourself, or how to move and influence others, then I feel like that's already a successful and prosperous life within itself. That is highly underrated in our society these days. So without a doubt, I do believe that education does give you a prosperous life, without 50 mil or not, and I feel like that's the beautiful part about it.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you for contributing to the platform, Thriving Talks. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Any last words? Anything you want to tell the people out here, like, with education?
Hey, man, I thank you for having me on your platform, man. I'm very grateful, very appreciative. You know, once again, my name is Trayvon McFarland. And a takeaway I want people to take away from this, man, is, hey, man, stay informed. Educate yourself, you know, educate yourself in your passion, educate yourself in your well-being, educate yourself in what can help your friends, your community rise and thrive. You feel me? Because knowledge is something that people can never take away from you, and knowledge is something that is so rare these days. So I definitely say educate yourself, you know, stay focused, you know, and continue to grow, because your mind is your greatest asset. Your mind is your greatest asset, man. Without it, we won't have the world today. We won't have an iPhone, we won't have Zoom, we wouldn't have YouTube, you feel me? So education is key, you know, and keep growing and keep diving.
All right, once again, thank you for joining me today, and have a blessed day.
You too, man. Be easy.
Take it easy, man.
All right.
Can you please state your name, your age, and consent yes to the recording?
Hi, my name is Rainieri Shiribi. Yes, I consent to this recording, and I am 28 years old, and I am from the Dominican Republic, but I live in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, smooth. So let's get into it. Do you think education is important?
Yes, I do think education is important.
And why?
I believe that education is a key to having a better future and becoming a better self. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. But can you break it down for someone that may not understand, younger?
So I feel like if you're well prepared as a person, educationally, you have a better opportunity of getting a better paid job, better skill sets. You're more prepared to have a better job than somebody who doesn't have education behind their their curriculum and stuff like that. So I feel like education is a key to being successful in life.
Okay. So we're going to get into some factors. I just want to break it down with you and just kind of get your take on some of the things. Do you believe that with education, it can provide a securing a higher income?
Yes, like I stated before, usually people who don't have an education tend to, just get a job, minimum wage. While you have an education, you can push and bargain with many companies. Say, like, you're applying for a job, they say, hey, you're going to get a specific amount. You can bargain with a lot of these companies because of your experience, because of your education. You're not set to just get what you get. You are allowed to sit there and bargain because you have the experience that they're looking for. They need you. So if they're looking at your resume and they're looking at you and interviewing you, they need you. So you're allowed to bargain. I feel like, yes, it allows you to have a better chance of getting paid well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. I definitely agree that you definitely gain status. With education, you definitely obtain more value, and you also have the leverage to, do more or do more than what the average possibly can.
Of course.
Another factor would be creating equal opportunities. It's a great question. Do you think that education provides, again, equal opportunities?
And can I ask, in what type of way do you mean equal opportunity?
Across the board, girl.
Okay, I mean, yes, it does actually create equal opportunity because, like I said, for people, even though people who don't have education, they can still bargain because of experience. But, you have an education, you can push forward and say, hey, I have this experience on paper. I have this. You're able to do as much as somebody else who may have the experience but not the education. I feel like it is very important, and it does allow you to have equal opportunity.
I see where you're looking at, but I'm looking. I mean, the question is, do you believe across the board? Does education create equal opportunities? So someone such as myself that is African American that wants to apply,
and someone such as myself as well who's a minority. Is that what you wanted to say?
Basically, so it's in the same bubble, yes. So do you believe that you have the same access that maybe someone else that is not, in your race group, in your racial group?
With education, yes.
Yes.
With education, yes.
So you still believe it creates an equal opportunity? You still get the same?
I feel like it does, but I feel like sometimes as a minority, you do have to work a little harder. You do have to go above and beyond in order to be able to achieve the same thing as others. I feel like it sets you up to have a better chance of trying to get to an equal opportunity.
But do you think you can succeed the equal thing, or it's just like you're in your own
lane? Definitely. If you can get to where they're at, you can succeed equally as they can.
Okay. And then one more thing. Do you believe that with education, you become more versatile when it comes to, because you said, I believe, that you come from the DR. So with you coming from the DR into the school systems down here, do you believe that you gained some skill sets that maybe someone that did not go to school?
Yes, I believe so. Of course. I feel like you said, I'm from the Dominican Republic. I feel like I have had great opportunities here in this country that if I were to be back home, I wouldn't have. And I'm very grateful for that. I feel like the education I've received here has been amazing, and it's allowed me to become a more hard worker. I want to know if you want me to give like a little detail about myself and my work situation. So I myself, like you said, I come from the Dominican Republic. Yeah, as a minority, I had to push more than other people. I currently just finished a CMA course a few weeks ago, and I got my certificate. And I feel like, working full time and doing all of that at the same time shows you, even though you're a minority, even though you're this, you could do it. As long as you push and you do what you got to do, you could do it. You could do it.
Okay.
So I feel like, that's part of what you kind of asked. I feel like it does play a part, but it doesn't matter. You're a minority. You can do it as long as you push yourself to do it.
I know when it comes to education, it ain't easy.
No.
But it's not impossible. But
no, it's not.
How did you do it? You just said you got your certificate. You made it to the finish line. And you persevered through. But what's one thing or a few things you can kind of give advice to someone that maybe in school struggling, or just kind of thinking about getting in school, or people that don't even is scattered around? So any advice that you would give somebody?
Keep thriving, keep pushing, don't give up. Because if you give up, you tell yourself you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. Just keep telling yourself you could do it. Keep positive and work hard. That's all I can. Those are the advices that I can give. Just work hard. Mm-hmm. Just work hard, because when you work hard, you achieve what you want.
Beautifully said. What Ray just said is, when you manifest your reality in the context of you put good things in your mind, positivity in your mind, you're destined to have positive things come your way. Rather, when you put negative things in your mind, you're going to have negative, you're not going to really get to where you need to be. So keep your mind pumped with positivity. Ray, I just want to say I appreciate you for joining the platform Thriving Talks with Anthony. May you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for having me, Anthony.
So let's just pull it back. We start off the video with the introduction to a wonderful woman herself named Ida B. Wells, and then we instantly went into conversation. I really hope that you guys take some time to let this marinate. There was a lot of gems that were being spit at left and right through our participants today. More to come, more content on the way. However, in a conclusion, I know there's going to be disagreements when it comes to education with this video being posted or not. However, I really hope that you guys really take into context that education is important in many various ways and fashions, and how it influences, people in general. So with that being said, please take into consideration to look into resources. So if you need help, put your hand up. So for instance, if you're in a classroom and you're in need of help, and you have a teacher walking around, teachers can, identify, or walking around with little, you know what I mean? Like they're making their little assumptions. They're just gonna be tapping around, whatever. But like, yourself, you need help. So with that being said, is take initiative, put your hand up. Anybody can read your mind. So steer your own boat, take control of your life, and really take into consideration about the steps and the process. Nothing's gonna be handed to you. Nothing's just gonna be a little easy. So really take into consideration on the education, and how important it is. And I'm going to put all the information that we discussed today with the documentary. Please finish it. I'll put up the website where I got the research from that broke down the things that we discussed today. Everything that we discussed, I'm going to give you the access to. So please, I just want to applaud you for being here with me. I appreciate the love that you guys have been giving me. and I'll continue to keep this thing going. It's going to be great. I have a lot of discussions. I have a lot of participants coming up, and if you want to be able to, be on the show, talking with me, thriving with me, hit me up, and we'll get this thing popping. I got the Instagram, we got the Snapchat, we got the emails up. You can find me in all different various ways. So don't be shy. Put your hand up. Look for me. Do your thing, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get this thing popping. So once again, with it being Black History Month, it was only right that we, brought some things to the light. Hopefully, you guys learned some things and you're able to digest some of the things that we learned today, regardless if it made you feel queasy or not. You're able to kind of take some of these gems in and apply them to your life. May God bless you. And like I said, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep thriving. And let's keep talking. Myself, Anthony, once again, thank you for thriving with me, and thank you for talking with me, and thank you for investing your time with me. Y'all have a nice day, nice night.